Kaboom! Shoot up the place. YouTube. On ready again? Quick talk. Quick talk. I did promise we do a video on loading your amplifiers, how to load your amplifier correctly and all of that, blah blah blah. A lot of us still overload the amp them. So this is a quick talk. Not take too long with this. I'm gonna do that video. Where's the little speaker?
Right there.
I'm gonna do that video there. Wait. Probably not today. Ooh. Jeez, I'm peace. Where's the paper for this? I think it's a dual 4 ohm.
It's on
Alright.
your laptop thing. Under your hat.
It's a dual 4 ohm. Blah, blah, blah. It's a dual 4 ohm. Anyways. Wanna see paper? 2 ohms versus 4 ohms, which one better? Which one better? 2 ohms or 4 ohms load? When I look on the speaker is a dual 4 ohm. Check it out. See there? 4 ohm. 4 ohm. 4 ohms by 2. See? When you multiply 4 ohms by 2, what you get? Not 8 ohms. You get 2 ohms. Depending on how you wire the speaker. If you wire the speaker in a parallel, you get 2 ohms. If you wire the speaker in a series, you get 8 ohms. 8 ohms now. So now we have 3 different load factor. You have 8 ohms, you have 4 ohms, and you have 2 ohms. Which one really better? Even though are the same speaker. Because you can't use one side of the speaker and play the speaker as a 4 ohms load. You can use 2 sides of the speaker in parallel and play the speaker as a 2 ohms load. But you can also use 2 sides of the speaker and play the speaker in a series as a 8 ohms load. So which one better? All boils down to your amplifier. So when you now pick, when the speaker so much with the amp, you have to pick correctly. That's where, you know what I mean? That's what one have to do the maths. Alright. Understanding impedance. Impedance is resistance. Resistance is measured in ohms. See? So, you put a 4 ohms load on an amplifier. I wish I had the book for the amp. Hold on. Because me have whole of paper and whole of sitting now. Ah. See them there? This are the booklet for the Lanzar Vibe. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Bam. I think what I'm looking for would be on the box for the Vibe. Ah, in there. Hey. Alright, see it there now. Let me see if I can look for ohms, 2 ohms. Nobody not gonna win now. I'm not gonna win now. And while you know watch the video and only hear me now say no, hit the notification below yes, and then hit all here. Alright. Me not see it in that because I wanted to show it to you guys. So It doesn't say what it will deliver. 4-channel amp, BAM, 4x120, 4x1250 watts, 2x500, 4x1000 watts, or 2x2500, 4x1000 at 2 ohms. It doesn't give me an ohm difference. RMS at ohms. 1x800 watt, 1x1000 watt, maximum at 4 ohms, 2x3000 watt. Alright, so this basically saying that with a 2 ohms load, which we didn't have to look on the book. We didn't have to look on the book because we would have to put the book up to the phone. But I'm going to explain. Let's say your amplifier runs stable at 2 ohms. Zin? With a 2 ohms load. Zin? With a 2 ohms load, that's where your amp would deliver the most power. See? If you change that load, let's say your amp was a 3000 watt or 4000 watt, for instance, at 2 ohms. At 2 ohms, it'll deliver basically the 4000 or 3500 watts, 3500 watts at 2 ohms. You see me? At 4 ohms, it will not deliver. Especially in car audio, it will not deliver the 3000 or the 4000 watts. You see me? It will go cut back. You understand what I say? So, question is, which one of the ohms them better for run your speaker? Alright. Notes. A higher impedance means more resistance and less current flow. Means if you put your speakers in a series, see, and your impedance get higher, your resistance get higher, the amp are gonna start deliver less current. Meaning you're not gonna get the 4000 watt what we are talking about. That is not a bad thing because it allows your amp to work more efficiently, run cooler. You know what I mean? While delivering 2500 watts. So I say, but if you take off the load, if you change the load from a 8 ohms to a 2 ohms, the amp will deliver the 3005 or the 4000. You know what I mean? But now the amp is warm, it run warm. You understand? Where problem comes in our equation is where everybody throw on more load on the amplifier than the amplifier is specified to handle. See? You put on 2 8 ohms, 15 on your amp, bring it down to 4 ohms, the amp good to go. You know what I mean? But you go some booms and put on 2 more 8 ohm speaker, drop that down to 2 ohms. The amp, alright, you know, if the amp is rated, you know what I mean, if you run stable at 2 ohms, it is quite fine. You know what I mean? The problem comes in when you put on one other speaker upon the 40. Now you drop the resistance, you drop the impedance below that of which the amplifier can handle. So now the amp no warm no more, the amp hot. Cause you like you have 2 amp up on the donkey. You see me? And you put all that load on one side, your donkey unbalanced. And if you load up this side, let's say you put on all that load on the right side, the donkey unbalanced. You put on the same amount of load on the left side, donkey balance up and can go on, you know. You see me I say? But now you put more load in the 2 basket, them donkey overload. The donkey pop down. I am popped up. Oh boy. You understand what I say? So, in my perspective, the best way to go about getting what you want out of what you have, seeing, getting your speakers to deliver what you want out of the amplifier where you use, if you play the speaker, is to either match the load to that where the amplifier is required to handle, or go higher with the load, not less. Not less. Seeing, as we say, 2 8 ohm speaker won't give you 16 ohms in a parallel. It'll go give you 4 ohms. And if you put 2 more 8 ohm speaker upon that, which all I will like to do, one channel run 4 speaker. If you put 2 more 8 ohm speaker upon that, them 2 they already. Alright, 2 8 ohms gear 4. 2 more 8 ohms over there in a series gear 4. That 2 4 ohms, gentlemen, is gonna give you a 2 ohms load. So 4 8 ohm speaker will give you a 2 ohms load. So now people ask me which speaker better for use, 8 ohms or 4 ohms. It all depends on what your amplifier can handle, how much speakers you plan to put on the amp. You see what I say? Because if you have 2 4 ohm speaker in a parallel, you know say it's a 2 ohms load that is just the same as putting 4 8 ohm speaker on the same amplifier. If the amp is rated to deliver, let's say it's a car amplifier, because some of them, if you look for most car amplifier, they tell you that it'll deliver 1000 watts at 8 ohms, 1500 watts at 4 ohms, and 3000 watts or 2000 whatever watts at 2 ohms. The lower you go, the more the amplifier produces, the more wattage the amplifier produces. You see what I say? The higher you go, the less wattage the amplifier produces, because the amplifier, I say, is a smaller speaker out there, or the resistance is not great enough for me to kick this speaker with 1000 watts or whatever. You understand what I say? So back to the topic again. 2 ohm speaker versus 4 ohm speaker. Which one of them better for play bass? The one with better for play bass depends on the amp you use. The one with better for play bass depends on how you wire the speaker. The one with better for play bass depends on how many speakers you have to put on that amplifier. You understand what I say? So in all honesty, none of the speakers are really better than none. Yes, you have better brand speakers out there, you know what I mean? But as it pertains to loading your amplifier, the same amplifier, none of them are going to really be better than none. Your cabinet has a lot to do with your bass output, with the quality that you get, with the sound that you get. See me? But it doesn't go down to putting 6 speaker and 4 speaker and whatever and adding more. It's not more all the time. Sometimes less is better. And if you want the amplifier to run more efficiently, the higher your impedance, the better your amplifier run, the cooler. But also remember, the downside to that is the amplifier will deliver less wattage. You understand? If you dip lower with your impedance, your ohms, then the amplifier going to deliver more wattage. But you're putting the amplifier, you know what I mean, basically at risk if you go below the specific, you know what I mean, ohms rating on the amplifier. That's the reason why we burn up amp and the speaker then still there out the door. Because you say you have this big 5000 watt amplifier, see, and the speaker then rated at 2000 watts, 1500 watts, see, and you do the maths. Listen, you do the maths in your head. 5,000 watt. See? With 5, let's call it say 800 watt speaker then. 800 watt speaker. As you not do the maths, you know reach up to 5,000 watt, you know. So you say, yeah, the amp can manage the speaker them. No. The amp can't manage the speaker them. If the speaker them are 8 ohms and the amp are 5,000 watt at 2 ohms, the amp can't manage the speaker them. Possibly. It is not impossible for you to play 8 ohm speaker on one amplifier at 2 ohms. It is not impossible. It is highly possible. See? But keep in mind so you overload the amps, because for 8 ohms speaker drop down to 2 ohms. You see what I say? Now you add a 5th speaker to the load there and you go under 2 ohms. So now your amplifier overload. Even though the wattage of the speaker no match up to the wattage of the amp, your amp still overload. So you go find that the amp run hot like hell and you wonder why you can't push them the speaker there. It don't have nothing to do with the wattage of the speaker. It have to do with the resistance. You understand? That's how it is. So do the maths. Calculate when I calculate, get it right before you start load the amps them. You see me? I'm gonna do another video, pencil it out, and show you how to load. You should I get it, you know. You should I get it. But I'm still gonna do it. Pen paper, pencil it out, and show you how to load the amplifier them. You see me? I don't think there is a whole lot more that I can explain in another video as it pertains to loading your speaker at the required, you know what I mean, impedance where the amp is specified. It's not a whole lot more than that I can say. Me gone back to the beginning of the video. If your amplifier, you know what, I'm gonna say this. Because enough of we as sound man, we like to have 4 speakers on one channel like amp. A lot of us still do that. See? Speaker choice are the key when it comes to loading your amp. The choice of your speakers, the ohms on your speakers. The question is 2 ohms or 4 ohms versus 8 ohms, which one better? My answer is none of them no better. Because this one speaker will have here, so I'm so sure because it's heavy. It has a dual voice coil. You can wire it 3-way. You can wire it as a 2 ohm. You can wire it as a 4 ohm. And you can wire it as a 8 ohm. Does that change anything about the speaker? The only thing that it changes is the voltage, the current deliverance, the wattage from the amp. That's the only thing it changed. At a low ohms, the amp is ready to deliver the 2000 watt if a 2000 watt amp. See? If you step up the ohms, the amp run cooler, more efficiently. But it's not going to deliver 2000 watts anymore. And the more you step up the ohms, the less wattage you get from the amp. The cooler the amp work, more efficient, run for longer. You understand? And work forever. You might never have to change the amp. You might never burn the amp. you might never have a problem with the amp. You know what I mean? So, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. In my perspective, none of the speakers are not really better as it pertains to the ohms. It's all about the collaboration. Your load from your speakers, your impedance that you put on the amplifier, and how you want the amplifier to behave. You understand what I say? So, I'm gonna do the maths. And while you not do the maths, do the right thing. Make sure you don't go over this and hit the notification bell. Make sure you stay tuned to the most informative channel on YouTube when you don't know say I is man this. Make sure you hit the notification bell and go down look further and hit all. Because if you don't hit all, you're not going to miss. And to miss is to this. You don't know it already. You understand? Better than big up yourself, you know. Seeing? Mention, big up yourself. Seeing? Too much sound out there. Yellow, big up yourself. Seeing? Golden touch, big up yourself. Too much sound out there for me big up right now. So I'm going to start bigging up. Like if I big up one in this video, I big up one next one and next video. Clear cut unit, big up yourself. Time, you know, clear cut. Time. And then a scallion, and then an onion and a garlic. Time. Alright. Listen. Outside me there. No, me inside. But me gone. No, me not gone. Me a cut. Later.